Okay, there is no better way I could have opened this video. I am so happy I saved on that point. Oh my god, I needed that this morning. Anyway, what is going on, guys? If I do doing another video, welcome back to Umineko, aka oh my god, that was just amazing. I'm recording this at like 11 a.m. so I'm wide awake now. Also, by the way, in case for some reason this is your first time joining us, last time Rosa killed Beatrice because of fall damage, and we learned that Kinzo is a creep. So nothing new. Well, actually, that's kind of what I've been asking for so long. Well, what was the point of arguing about a 19th person? Oh. Hello? Okay, that is so... Yeah, Battler... He's going back to depressing. I feel like the next theory he's gonna argue is, oh, one of the people who came to this island is an imposter, and that they pretended to be someone else. I have a feeling that's what he's going with this, and he's gonna start like blaming one of the parents, and I don't know, Battler is so... he kinda sucks at this argument. Like, I like him, but his like, yes moments, I'm like, yeah, go Battler, and then these moments, I'm like, you're an idiot. Yes, you broke his spirit faster than I ever could have. Just gonna need beer at this point. Is he actually going this route? Wait, though he said this route, Kenzima. That's interesting. Battler, just like, stop. He's never gonna win because he doesn't want to actually play the game. He wants to like invent. This is the guy who, like, he's playing checkers, and then he's like, oh, I'm gonna do a butterfly, and everyone at the table is like, what the fuck are you doing? He's like, oh, it's when you can just move like this. See, it's totally legal, and then they just end up leaving because of anger. Like, that's Battler. I'm afraid to say, but like... But Beatrice, there's still 5 more episodes. That's kind of a nice thing. You already have. Like, can you shut up? Like, she's acting like the game is still going on. Battler has lost the game. Also, I know this is totally unrelated. So happy I finally stopped coughing. Like, seriously, after I recorded the last video, I was coughing non-stop for like 3 weeks. Oh, I thought she was about to cough for a second. No, it's hee hee hee. Gotta pronounce it correct. I wonder when the actual game is gonna begin, though. Like, you know, the first Twilight. I mean, it is, like, kinda early on, but I figured they would have gotten to it by now. Oh, wait, maybe we are getting to it now. If it, like, shows where everyone is. Oh my god, we are getting to it! Yay, murder! Oh god, please don't take that out of context. I'm just excited for the first Twilight. Please be the first Twilight. Oh no. It's a painting. Wait, though, if Battle was allowed to make moves, like, before the game begins, why not, like, sabotage the boat? Because if we're allowed to, like, show stuff before the game happens, which we saw with, Shannon in the last episode, why don't we just, like, break down the boat? I mean, it's a way to win. And it's probably the only way Battle will ever win. Unless he actually, like, learns his lesson this episode, but I really doubt it. He's really stubborn. And there's the pervert. Well, he's not really... Well, I mean, do you count locking up your secret mistress on another mansion hidden on your island away from your wife and your children? Perverted. I'll have to think on that one. God, it's always with the painting. Like, they make it so that it looks like it's always staring at you. Like, I'm moving, like, left to right now, and it's gazing through my soul. It's seeing things no person should see. Oh? Yay. I'm wondering who will die. No, that actually is a good question. I'm assuming it's gonna be, like, all the adults but one, and they're gonna, like, take over for the episode, because that's kind of what we did last time, and the time before that. Maybe, like, throw in a few servants. Oh no, not Kinzo. Resolved this time. Wait, do you know about, like... No, but it's weird. Like, how is it happening? Are we, like, going through fragments? In his dimly lit study, which was occasionally brightened by lightning, Kinzo kept mumbling to himself, laughing to himself. On the antique clock with an intricate design that was sitting on his desk, the two overlapping hands had begun to tilt to the right and separate from one another. The passage of time that had counted to 24 had returned to 0 and begun to start counting again. Really? I didn't know time works that way. Well, actually, over here it goes 0 to 12, 0 to 12, well, 1 to... You know what I mean.
24時にたどり着くことはできたのだろうか。たどり着けず、再び0時に戻ったと考えれば、それはなんとも虚しいことよ。
No, this is not the same as a person's life. You live aiming for the perfect 24, and in that instance you reach it, you return to 0. People may praise the departed, saying that they did reach 24, but that is absolutely not 24. It's nothing more than 0.
わしは違うぞ。わしは生きて24にたどり着く。
Sir, you will.
そここそが黄金鏡。
Oh, he's saying, look, dude, like, I get you're a yandere, but you're taking it a little too far. Kinzo had been fumbling around. I give him such sit with some ooh, I love tarot cards. It looked as though he was trying to divine his own luck, his own propensity for victory, and doing it over every time he didn't like the result. The most forbidden accent in tarot reading is trying to predict the same thing twice. Honestly, I've actually kind of gotten into tarots recently. Of course I don't have them right here with me, but I have like 2 packs in the other room. It's a desecration to the result of the fortune telling. It also desecrates the existence higher than humans, which delivers signs through the tarot cards. However, Kinzo knew. The reason the tarot cards shouldn't be used twice was that since it was nothing more than a well, I mean, just shuffle it. Like, what are the odds you're gonna pull something similar twice? It was neutral that if you read them twice, a different result would appear. Oh wait, no, he's talking about like the reversed meanings of each card. That's what he's meaning. Okay. Therefore, reading twice was only forbidden. Yeah, no, I'm guilty of that. Like, if I'm like being superstitious and then I see like I got the bad side of a card, I'll read the good side and I'll be like, okay, well that's the one I'm picking, even though that's not how it works. However, that didn't mean that Kinzo didn't take tarot reading seriously. Kinzo's interpretation of tarot reading was done in a completely different way. This was to repeat the reading over and over until he reached the result most favorable to him, without the slightest amount of That isn't how you do it. Well, I mean, I'm guilty of the same thing, but whatever. It would depend on how he defined the result most favorable to him. But if he demanded the best result in a strict sense, it would be the same as simple roulette of luck, where he sought an arithmetic miracle. However, to Kinzo, who made miracles of numbers the basis of his magical power, this could become very much like a magic ritual. In other words, until the result he desired appeared perfectly, he'd repeat the tarot readings over and over. So he's basically Rika, turning his labor, conviction, and the feeling of his hurt into a prayer. So that's when he reached heaven, the result would be sublimated. This was Kinzo's personal magical interpretation. Therefore, even though the tarot cards Kinzo used were exactly the same as generally used tarot cards, the way they were used was I hope you draw the tower. Or fool, that'd be funny. Kinzo stopped his hands for a sec. I feel like that one sums up Kinzo, though. It seemed that the result he expected wasn't showing up. On the contrary, many bad cards that shouldn't often appear were appearing repeatedly, and continuing to interfere with... Is he gonna die? It seemed that Kinzo had taken some kind of sign from this abnormal curse of events. But judging by the unlucky cards scattered over the desk, it was difficult to imagine that the sign had been a good one. For a while, Kinzo closed his eyes tightly, pondering something. Also, dude, you're only supposed to draw 3. Past, present, and future for a question. Then, as the thunder roared, he made up his mind about something, took the telephone receiver, and dialed. Ah, yes, before the telephones go dead. In front of the main entrance, Sandon was cooling her flushed face in the frigid air. She had thought that George's proposal would surely come sometime. It wasn't as if her heart had been unprepared, and she nodded as an answer. Had she been reckless because of her youth? Should she have thought about her future more? Oh, she's thinking about this differently. She found herself worrying that he might have thought of her as a cheap girl because of her immediate reply. Perhaps at least holding up. So, it's not cheap to be like, yes, I will because I love you. That's like serious. If it was cheap, you'd be like, maybe, I don't know. Oh my god, I'm kind of just imagining that now. Sandon says no to George. He's the culprit after all. Now that she had already received the ring from George, Sandon kept fidgeting in embarrassment, thinking she could have done this, should have done that. As she did, she heard the sound of footsteps coming towards her, splashing through puddles. Sandon immediately chased away the emotions welling up inside. Oh, it's Genji. And on a lesser note, Kanon. She grew stiff, thinking that she would surely be scolded for spending too much time in her secret lover's meeting with George. I like how everyone's just fine with the red sword too. Well, at least the servant. Wait. What he just said. Hold up. I can't remember if they've always, like, known about it, or is that just something missed? Like, I mean, I don't know, that quote's a little suspicious. Unless it isn't, and I'm just blowing it out of proportion, which is also very possible. Just so noisy. Kanon was especially good at hiding his presence. Like he was a cat. He was able to suddenly be there without leaving the same way. Why is everyone in media cats? Like, Rika. So even if he were to step in a puddle, the sound he would be far smaller than of that rain hitting the puddles. Genji also had that ability. Well, in the first place, that was how the servants were supposed to be, even going by the name furniture. Just like how desks and closets go unnoticed by members of the family. The furniture isn't just moving in the house. That's not how it works. Also treated being able to sew up unobtrusively when they needed to as their greatest virtue. In that sense, Sanon's footsteps still strongly asserted themselves. She was also trying to hide her footsteps, but compared to Kanon and Genji, well, you could say, but you heard them coming. They went out of their way to be like, she heard footsteps. They didn't hide their presence at all. Eventually, they reached the back door, and the three of them entered the mansion. Also, oh my god, my volume is loud. Like, I'm sorry if I'm speaking louder than I normally do. It's just, what's my volume at on my computer? I'm curious. Yeah, a little loud. Just a little bit, though. Immediately, they thought they felt something. It wasn't quite a sense of smell. Rather, they felt the depths of their noses. In this hard-to-describe sensation, which you might call a sixth sense. Oh, I then perceived that something was different than usual. That perception caused them to feel that something tense was closing in on them. Realizing that, the three of them dashed up the stairs, aiming for Kinzo's study, still hiding their footsteps. I'm assuming they're gonna find him dead. When they dashed up the stairs, that smell of sweet poison, particular to Kinzo's study, reached... Oh. After hearing Kanon, she looked at the door to the study. A scorpion pattern was engraved on the doorknob. A powerful magic repellent. The final barrier which protected Kinzo himself. It had been broken. What is he at? Please, be dead. I know that sounds horrible, but like, I don't like Kinzo. I'd much rather see a bunch of other people actually survive the first Twilight. Of course, there was no chains to the doorknob that the eye could see. However, they who could understand things that people couldn't perceive were able to recognize the dramatic chains. He's definitely dead. There's like no way. Genji called in this way after knocking several times, but there was no answer from the study. Let's split up and search for clues, gang. Kanon put his ear against the door, searching for a presence inside the study. To protect the backs of the other two who were watching the door, Kanon faced the other way with her back to them, prepared for the unexpected. Genji pulled a gold key out of his pocket. Oh, I thought he was gonna break it down. It was the only key to the study that existed, other than the one. Yeah, if it was anyone else, they'd break the door down. He stuck it in the keyhole and turned it heavily. At a glance, that would have indicated that it really was a strong lock. However, the fact that the barrier had been destroyed meant that this door had long been wide open for anyone with magic power. The lock made a heavy sound, indicating that the door had been opened to humans as well. Witches aren't real. Can't be a witch. As Genji respectfully bowed he's definitely dead. And Kanon's sense of tension grew tighter. And Kanon acted nervously. They entered the study. Oh, he's still alive. They immediately discovered Kinzo's figure. He was sitting in a reception sofa, so that he had his back faced to them. Genji noticed the person sitting across from him and again bowed deeply. Kanon also noted that person, and he didn't bow his head. He went in front of Kanon and spread both arms, blocking the way to her. So without even seeing that person's face, Sanon already had a good idea who it was. No, it can't be. God damn it! She really likes just sewing herself on the board. Battle, you gotta play better. Genji directed his greeting toward the thin darkness behind and to the right. Wait, he knows. So my mind is melting right now. Even Kenji and Shannon couldn't have imagined that someone would be there. However, the darkness answered immediately and praised Genji's eyesight. Why are they sewing themselves so early though? Like, this is weird. Oh, he doesn't believe.
Beatrice 様の家具頭を任されておりますロノウェと申します源氏さんの古い馴染みですよあなたと同じに私も家具です
Genji culprit confirmed. No, but seriously, like, I feel so bad because every episode I just look at the servants and I'm like, it's you. You're the culprit. Well, I mean, last time I did that with Rosa, but I kind of thought that they were a little bit involved. This time, it's just like, nope, they're involved. Well, I mean, we don't know how involved, but the fact that they were old friends, serving under a different master, furniture could become kind, brutal, or anything else is desired. If he called himself furniture serving the hated Beatrice, then surely he was a despicable being as well. Despicable me. Beatrice openly sneered at Kanon's hate-filled face. Then Kanon finally observed. Beatrice and Kinzo were enjoying a chess game, sitting and facing reception sofas, but Kinzo hadn't even quivered. He was holding his head with both hands, his eyes closed tight, and he contemplated his next move. No, was he in anguish?
わらわが金蔵に伝えたのは良い知らせと悪い知らせだった。良い知らせは儀式を終えずしてわらわと再会できる幸運を得た。悪い知らせは金蔵が儀式の一番最初の人間に選ばれてしまった。
You went to Vegas and you lost all your money.
こればかりはわらわにもどうしようもない。実に気まぐれにルーレットにて決めたのだから。
嘘をつけ。もてあそんで殺しているくせに。
よしてカノン君。
さて金蔵、そろそろ負けを認める気になったのか。
Let me guess, never.
これにてわらわとの長きにわたる勝負は。
At glance, you could tell the current situation on the chaotic chessboard. However, judging from Kinzo's anguish and Beatrice's malicious relaxedness, it looked as though it was already decided.
是非もなし。これもまた一興か。
わらわもだ。そなたとの勝負に決着がつくことは万感の思いあれど楽しかったぞ。退屈しない数十年であった。
Beatrice advanced her queen and made her final move. It was thus decided.
チェックメイト。これがわらわからそなたへの。
Is he just gonna like drop dead?
心置きなく眠れ。
Kinzo suddenly stood up and laughed like an opera singer facing a full crowd and spreading his arms, as though he had succeeded in a century-long plan. Oh, holy shit! That laugh spat crimson. Oh my god, it's even animated. They went all out for this CG. Crimson flames poured out from inside him, spitting even out of his mouth, ears, and nose. Oh, that... What the frick? But Kinzo kept laughing. Oh my... The more he laughed, the more the hellfire spewed from his entire body and began to stir him. Those flames became a brilliant light, which dazzlingly shone on the various magic tools throughout the room and made their distorted shadows dance across the wall. Those shadows looked like the dead in hell, in ecstasy over Kinzo as he burned. And for one who made the contract with a witch, and who had received the end of the contract, it was an extremely fitting end. Okay, that was kinda cool. After laughing and howling in the roaring flames for some time, Kinzo flapped over to the ground as though he was a puppet whose strings had been cut. Those incredible blazing flames disappeared as though they had burned up everything there was to burn. And afterwards, all that was left was a festering and burnt body that would make you want to avert your eye. Oh, I'm gonna throw up. The holy shit. Who else did you pick?
ふさわしい死に方だと思っているくせに。
なぜお前が姿を現している？僕たちに何か用だとでも言うのか？
よしてカノン君、ベアトリーチェ様を挑発してはダメ。
What's the point, though?
すっかり怯えさせてしまいましたね。
Like, why not provoke her? She just
カノン
killed
とは仲
someone.
良くなれぬようだ。そう嫌いでもないというのにね。
Beatrice smiled broadly, or perhaps wickedly. Kanon violently averted his gaze, obviously disturbed. His reaction was so different from what he had obviously intended that it made the wits in her butler laugh.
Kanon, ベアトリーチェ様の御前であるぞ。言葉遣いに気をつけ
Oh my god, shut the it doesn't matter.
さあ、構わぬぞ、源氏。好きに言わせて。
One of these days, they'll actually, like, be people, instead of just, like, afraid of Kinzo would be. If anything, they're not, like, they don't have to serve Beatrice.
わらわは寛大である。
Like, Kinzo's dead. They technically don't have to serve anyone anymore.
わらわは死にゆく者にはいつだって寛大である。
Wait, have they? Oh, yeah. I was gonna say, does that mean that he's gonna die now? Kanon was brought to her sudden realization by that creepy laughter. Beatrice's reason for them being there was not just to take Kinzo's life. The first. Well, goodbye Kanon, goodbye Sanon, and goodbye Kenji. AKA some of the three most probable suspects usually. Kinzo alone wasn't nearly enough, and they had just nonchalantly come to this place.
安心せよ、カノン。そなたらがここに訪れたから生贄に選ばれるのではない。生贄に選ばれているからこそ。
Wait, who else was? Okay, so that's 4. But who are the other 2? They instinctively figured it out immediately. 6 sacrifices were required for the first Twilight. I am butchering the reading. After Kinzo, how many more would you need to add up to 6? In this manner, the number 5 instantly made them think of the number of servants here.
それがお望みですか。
感謝せよ、家具ども。
No.
そなたたちの苦難の日々は今宵ようやく終わり
Do
を
not
迎
thank
え
her.
た。それを告げに訪れたわらわに感謝せよ。
I'm assuming he's gonna thank her anyway,
かしこ
though.
まりました。それをお望みでしたら。
Oh my god.
源氏様。
That sums up my reaction. But what I'd like my reaction to be, my actual reaction is why am I not suppressed? Kenji had agreed to the witch's heartlessness announcement in his usual manner without raising an eyebrow.
親方様亡き後はベアトリーチェ様が我らのある。
Wait, who said that?
その求めに応じるのが我らの最後の務め。シャノ、カノ、今日までよく使えた。そのロークもこれにて終わりだ。
源氏はさすがですね。同じ家具
I'm
として
confused.
あなたを誇りに思いますよ。
Like, you don't just say, oh, my master is dead, I'm going to now pick you as the master. Like,
シャノ、
why do they have...
異論はないか。
Do you have it? She's gonna say no.
はい。
Oh my god.
ジョージ様から指輪を贈られたそうだな。それでもなお。
Come on, in the last episode you put up a really amazing fight and there was like magic and stuff.
はい。 家具の身に過ぎた幸福でした。指輪を頂戴しただけで私の思いはすでに達せられております。
Shannon had not yet reached as high of a philosophical state of mind as Genji. There probably really were regrets left in her heart. She probably wanted to spend a little more warm time with the person of her thoughts, George. But she released herself from that. She took a single deep breath, and from that point on, the expression she wore was blank.
シャノンがそこまでの落ち着きを得るとは少し
Yeah, me too. You were fighting like really hard in the last episode not to
あなた
die.
の家具として達観したようですね。
惚れた男と夜も共にできず、少しは悔し涙をこぼさんのか。退屈な女よ。
ベアトリーチェ様ごときにこの気持ちはわかりません。私たちの命をご所望でしたらどうぞお受け取りください。私たちは慎んでそのお務めを全うします。
それでよくぞ言ったな。
ベアトリーチェ様の苦手なタイプのようで。
最近こやつめはだいぶ達観しよった。どうも前回いじめすぎたようだ。
Oh, wait, are you talking about like in the past or in the last
それを
game?
言ったらバトラモか。
You're doing a lot to battle it. Wait, is he one of the sacrifices?
わらわはまだぬるいのか。
That would be an ultimate plot twist. Not really one that I'd like. I probably wouldn't really like that, but it would definitely be a good plot twist.
追い詰め方が下手なのか。
Like from a story wise, not opinion wise.
いずれにせよ面白みのないやつよ。しかしお前はまだわらわを楽しませてくれそうだよな。カノン。
カノン君。
Compared to the two who had attained a philosophical state of mind, there was a painful anguish on Kanon's face. Kanon was still far too young to accept his demise without regrets, after being told of it by a suddenly appearing witch.
カノン、わらわは退屈を何より嫌い。そしてお前を除く二人が素直に死を受け入れるもので、だからそなたにはわらわの期待を裏切らないでもらいたいものだ。
僕を慰み者にしようというのか。
This is such a lose-lose situation. Kanon realized that he was like, I know earlier I was saying that they should actually fight it, but yeah, no, this is making me realize the truth of this. However, no matter how much anger spurred him on, his opponent was a witch. He was furniture. He had no You're not furniture. I believe in you. But the witch was expecting that this would be a struggle in vain and with around, and was looking forward to it. Just thinking about that frustrating enough to get his blood boiling. Was disappointing the witch by refusing to resist like the other two. The only way he could strike back at her.
煉獄の七姉妹が長女ルシファー。いでよ。
I'm assuming she's gonna do it, unless they're gonna all burn. I mean, that sounds painful. I mean, I'd love like new CGs because the last one was kind of cool.
家具に魔女と戦えというのも酷な話よ。そなたがいくら怒りに駆られようとも、勝算のない戦いでは希望も持てまい。無論、勝ち目のない戦いでは、わらわも退屈というもの。ならば、家具は家具。
Well-timed lightning strike.
家具同士で決着をつけてはどうか。それならば勝てる希望も持てるであろう。
Uzo, are we gonna get another battle?
恐れながらベアトリーチェ様、私がそのような出来損ないの家具にこんな可愛い子に私が万一にも負けるようなことなど
我が家具煉獄の七杭を打ち破ってみせよ。見事打ち破ってみせたなら、そうだな。13人の生贄を逃れることのできる5人をそなたに自由に決めさせてやろう。
Oh.
そなたの推薦する5人をわらわは無条件に
Wait, but he can't save himself.
黄金鏡に迎え入れる。
That's kind of unfair, though.
それならばどうか。
Kanon understood that he was being provoked. However, the witch's condition was very tempting. The evil ritual the witch and the rest were trying to carry out was, at this point, not something that Kanon cared about in the slightest. On the contrary, it was much more important for him to survive, be invited to the Golden Land, and have his wish granted by Beatrice there.
そなたは家具は嫌だと泣いたな。そなたの望み、枕を濡らしてまで望んだ人間の体を与えて
It's like
やろう。
Pinocchio if Pinocchio like stood it out as a person but just was in denial.
どうだ？そうすればジェシカとも結ばれるぞ。
Oh no, Jessica's been brought up into
お
this.
ちょうどよい。
Yeah, I was gonna say that that's probably the one that's gonna
ジェ
provoke
シカとそなたを推
him.
薦すればよい。自分だけが幸せになることに抵抗があるならば、さらにシャノンとその思い人であるジョージを加えればよい。義理があるならばさらに源氏も加えればよい。おお、これで5人だ。
Wow,
十分
math.
ではないか。これだけのご褒美があれば、そなたはわらわを退屈させはしないよな。
どうせ戯れよ。耳を貸す必要はない。
僕は嫌だ。姉さんはそれでいいの？
Beatrice couldn't hide her evil smile at those words.
僕は嫌だ。幸せになりたい。家具なんてもう嫌だ。人間になって普通の恋がしたい。僕も姉さんのように海が青いってことを知りたいんだ。
Bro, just look out the window.
若いですね。羨ましい。
だから若者は好きなのだ。源氏、シャノンは下がれ。
Oh,
カノン、
the music's
ルシフ
just
ァーは前
gone.
へ。
仰せのままに。
Alright, it's time for the epic Pokemon battle.
気に入らないわ。ベアトリーチェ様は無理でも私にだったら勝てるかもしれないという見下しが最高に気に入らないわ。
That was probably humiliating to Lucifer. But at the same time, she was also happy that she was so lucky to have this lovely prey all to herself.
恋、魔女の家具。いつまでも僕を見くびることができると思うな。
Oh! Oh my god, I love the fight scenes! So good. Oh? Not another time for a fun show.
くそ、またおかしなことになりやがった。魔法バトルなんて認めてたまるかよ。
ほらほら、目をつむらずにちゃんと見ろよ。ほらほら、魔法だよ。
It's furniture.
どんなにわらわや魔
Well,
法
if it's either furniture or magic, one or the other.
ほらほらほらほらほらほら、こうして目の前でブワンブワンカキンカキンやられちゃ台無しだよな。
But how can, like,
ほ
how
ら
do we know this is even
ほら
real?
ほら、もう思考なんて魔法はあるんだって。これはファンタジーなんだって。
Fantasy.
目を閉じるなよ。しっ
But
か
if
り
it's
見ろよ。
fantasy, then it's not
ほ
real.
らほらほらほら。
畜生、畜生、畜生、畜生。魔女を認めない。魔法を認めない。でも、こんなにあからさまにやられちまったら、くそ、くそくそくそ。
ほら、目を背けるなよ。しっかり見ろよ。魔法はあるんだよ。ファンタジーなんだよ。推理ごっことかやめちまえよ。知ってんだよ。ものを考えんの本当は苦手なんだろう。やめ
He's
ち
off
ま
one
え
thing.
やめちまえ。
Okay, that sounds a little like me.
ほらほら、どうせファンタジー、どうせファンタジー。
She's having a lot of fun this episode.
うるせえ、うるせえ、うるせえ。俺に話しかけるんじゃねえ。
こいつ意地になっちゃって、私になら勝てるなんて思い上がりをしたことを今すぐ床に這いつくばって謝ってごらんな。そうしたら特別に許してあげてもいいわよ。生きながら生皮を剥がして。
Oh. Yeah, I was gonna say, I mean, that kind of sounded like a good offer until then.
可愛い子なんだから。そうしたらあなただけは最高に素敵な気分の中で。
黙れ魔女の家具。お前と問答するつもりはない。
私なんか眼中にないというのね。気に入らないわ。イフを感じないその目、本当に気に入らないわ。
I have a feeling we're getting close to the finishing blow. Ooh, never mind.
カノン君。
あやつ、サタンの時よりも筋がいいではないか。
だから人間は恐ろしいのです。たまに魔女にまでなり、悪魔を羊扱いにしたりいたしますよ。
わらわはどちらを応援すればよいというのか。
Whenever it makes that noise, it seems like someone's about to get hit or something.
僕を見くびるな。お前にそのおごりがある限り、僕には決して勝てない。
私がこの煉獄の7姉妹が長女ルシファーを刺してこんな。
Oh. Yeah! Never mind. Oh, yeah! Kanon was desperately trying to stay alive, needed the strong desire to become human, but Lucifer didn't feel anything stronger than a slight desire to play, so that it reached its inevitable result. For the ability to yield such a result is the power of humans, the power of the herd.
これまでだ。お前は僕に。
I'm surprised he isn't like cutting her head off or something. A glowing red trail extended straight out of Kanon's arm, pointing at Lucifer's throat just beneath the tip of her chin.
何よこれ。この私がこんなの。何かの間違いよ。
As she grounded her teeth in irritation, she tried to deny the reality right before her eyes. But no matter how much she believed in her own superiority, it didn't change the fact right before her eyes.
ほう、やるなあカノン。見事だ。わらわを退屈させなかった。それに比べわらわの家具のなんと情けないことか。
ルシファー、お嬢様を退屈させていますよ。やはりあなたには荷が勝ちすぎた相手でした。
Apparently so.
失望するぞ、七食いの長女。
Heck yeah. That would have seemed like nothing more than a simple rebuke to an outsider. However, furniture serving the witch knew it. Well, I mean, she kind of deserved it. Like what she was doing with Battler, and understood what had been left unsaid.
この出来損ない家具が。
She howled. Abandoning her last bit of pride, she made her body explode, exposing her true form. The form was a demon snake, which bounced and deflected off the walls over their room.
よくも私にここまで恥をか殺す。殺す殺す殺せ。このぬるまが。私の姿をもうできないくせに。もう遊ばないよ。本気で怒ったわよ。お前の心臓を一撃で貫いてやるよ。ぶっすりざっくり貫いて真っ赤な血の噴水を天井にまで届かせてやるよ。死ねー。カノン君。
Oh. Oh my god, it's like a drum roll. Oh. With a speed exceeding even the limits that the human eye could follow, Lucifer went wild and flew at Kanon's hurt. Lucifer confirmed that the sweet taste he could feel was definitely Kanon's blood. but she quickly noticed she hadn't pierced Kanon's hurt.
これだから人間は恐ろしい。紅茶はいかがですかな。
今はよい。紅茶もいらぬほどに面白い。
カノン君。
あ。
おごったな。だから。
What did she hit? The floor was stained with dripping blood. It really was Kanon's blood, but it wasn't flowing out of his chest. Kanon had sacrificed his own left hand to protect. Damn! I mean, not a bad strategy, but. Okay, this music does not fit this. Lucifer was arrogant, even though she had been given enough time to realize that this was an opponent capable of cornering her. Even so, in her pride, she had believed that he was a worthless opponent. She had gotten careless. So just as she had announced, he had aimed for his chest, trying to pierce his hurt. Because she was arrogant, she hadn't even thought of aiming for somewhere other than the place she had announced. No, maybe she thought about it a little. No, you didn't think about it at all. However, her pride would not allow her to aim for the different spot, because she was Lucifer the Proud. More like Lucifer the Lame! Lucifer, it has an L, that means you gotta take the L. Kanon, withstanding the pain, grasped the demon stake sticking deep into his left hand strongly with his right, and pulled it out. You're supposed to leave those things in. The sound of breaking bones and even more blood dripping down could be heard. Kanon instinctively averted her eyes. There was an air hole in the back of the pierced hand so big that you could clearly see the other... Okay, good, they didn't draw it on the sprite. Kanon's face was filled with agony, but in this very moment, he had won without a doubt. The demon stake he was gripping with his right hand turned back into Lucifer again. Kanon was now gripping exactly where her neck was.
僕の勝ちだ、ベアトリーチェ。
Kanon didn't hold back, all with his hand gripping Lucifer's throat. She had silenced him again after the fight had already been decided. Kanon had no obligation to be considerate. But even so, Kanon released the witch's furniture. Was it his naive humanism, his pity for another piece of furniture, or a final show of respect to the witch? In any case, she was released. Lucifer fell face down on the ground, and made it as if to vomit, moaning over the pain in her throat.
お見事ですよ。あなたの奮闘により、金蔵の研究の正しさが一つ実証されました。
Rudolf was clapping his hands. The Kanon, who had achieved a difficult victory, incurring a wound on his left hand that couldn't be closed, the applause seemed nothing but shallow.
人の心はあらゆる可能性を秘める。いやはやこれだから人間は恐ろしい。あっぱれであるぞ、カノン。そなたは勝利した。見事だ。
大丈夫？カノン君。
No, he's not okay. Kanon ran up to him and wrapped a handkerchief around his left hand, which was still spraying blood.
見事であるぞ、カノン。実に見事である。わらわも少しは番狂わせを期待した。それを裏切らぬとは。そなたは誠に素晴らしき家具であるぞ。見直した。正直見直したぞ。
約束を忘れてはいないだろうな、ベアトリーチェ。
もちろん忘れてはおらぬぞ。
I'm just not gonna actually keep my promise. But I haven't forgotten though.
だがしかし、契約に限っては人間など及ばぬほどに高潔だ。わらわは保護にはせぬ。そなたが勝利したなら、13人の生贄を逃れることができる5人を自由に決める権利を保証。
Who is he gonna choose, though? Well, I mean, actually, that's kind of stupid. Oh, holy shit! Beatrice tore her pipe, and heaven and earth turned over just for Lucifer. She's probably dead. So as a horrible natural result, she fell onto the ceiling. The ceiling doesn't seem that high to people standing on the floor. However, the people who fall on it up... Okay, that's a weird way to word that. Imagine falling on the ceiling.
それもそうである。許してやるか。
Beatrice spun her pipe again. Oh, I thought she was dead. When she did, the magic had been affecting Lucifer was released. So as a horrible, nasty result, this time with extreme legitimacy, she fell back on the floor.
ぞ。さてカノン、続けようではないか。
Yes, who shall we choose?
まさか彼女にとどめをさせとでも。
ああ、違う。まだ終わっちゃいないだろうが。
何をだ、はぐらかすな。
わらわは確かにそなたと約束したぞ。わらわの家具煉獄の七杭を打ち破ったなら。
Oh, wait.
さあさあおいでなさい。
No way.
煉獄の七杭。
Oh, that.
長女の6人の
Oh
妹
my.
たち。
There's no way he can. Oh, they're all here. With slow laughing voices, the air split. And gold sprayed everywhere as the remaining 6 of the 7 snakes of Purgatory showed themselves. All the 7 sisters of Purgatory, only one of which Kanon had been able to defeat by sacrificing his left arm, were gathered. By now, Kanon regretted his thoughtlessness in accepting the witch's challenge. He had been foolish to assume that a game with a witch could be on. I was gonna say, that seemed a little too easy.
お前たちだからお姉様はダメなのよ。長女を偉そうに名乗るくせに上っ面だけなのよ。まったくルシファーお姉様一人の集会が私たちへの評価を下げるのよ。恥を知りなさいな、この未熟者が。
カロンくん、すごいすごい。でもいい気にならないことよ。
He is so screwed. He is so screwed. I should have known though, like every single time there's like any hope in this game, they take it away after a few seconds.
お姉様は威張ってだけいればいい。荒事はすべて優秀な私たちで片付けるのだから。お姉様、どうする？私たちはお姉様のプライドを尊重して、そのボロボロの体で再び挑むのを期待して手出しをしないつもりなんだけれど、でもカノン君は強いわよね。今のお姉様じゃもうどうあがいても勝ち目はないわよね。お前たち
You people.
やれやれ、いつも賑やかな姉妹たちであるな。今は仲違いをしている場合。
Discord? I'll check my DMs.
そなたらは7人揃ってこその煉獄の7姉妹であろうが、仲良くしてわらわの仕事を遂行せよ、迅速に。
ねえ、ルシファーお姉様、私たち妹の力が借りたいなら言ってよ。お姉様の口から助けを求める言葉が聞きたいの。
私はこれ以上苦労する気か。
愚かでひ弱で見苦しくて情けないこの長女のルシファーをどうか妹の皆様お助けください。ねえ、
What if he just doesn't though?
聞かせてよ。それを聞かせてくれたら助けてあげる。それでいいわよね、みんな。
お前たち、おのれ。
Bitches. The 7 sisters of Purgatory taunted their elder sister, calling her worthless, verbally abusing her. Even Kanon, who had been fighting her for his life until a second ago, couldn't even bear to look straight at it.
私がそのようなことを口にできるものかよ。
早くせよ。どうせお前一人では拉致が開かぬわ。早く7姉妹にてカノンを撃て。
そら、どうしましたかルシファー。お嬢様の命令ですよ。
ひどい。
How very cruel. Lucifer ground her teeth over and over, hurled curses at her sisters, and then, as he trembled over, she answered her sister's request.
愚かでひ弱で見苦しくて
情けない。
情けないこの長女ルシファーをどうか。
She was finally unable to endure saying those degrading words, and the girl bearing the name of Pride broke down crying. However, the 6 younger sisters kept giggling cold-heartedly. Reminds me of high school.
ちょっと泣いてごまかさないで。まだいいっつってない。
もう十分だろう。さあ姉妹たち、我らの力を見せてやろう。
Yeah, they're
私は全部
screwed.
聞かなきゃ満足しないわよ。ほらほらお姉様、続けてよ。もう十分よ。
Oh,
さあ
this is an interesting
この
song.
屈辱は姉妹全員の屈辱。生かして返しはしないわよ。
さて、哀れな家具
They're gonna make a Megazord. Is that what this is gonna be?
素敵な提案はある？はいはい。ベルゼは仲良く7人でカノン君を分けっこしたらいいと思います。
良い提案だな。それでなら姉妹でみんな仲良し
なら私頭部ね。手足はあんたらにあげるわ。やだやだ、私が頭なの。
そんな約束意味があるわけないでしょ。早い者勝ちに決まってるわ。
どんな殺され方
I feel so bad for Kanon right now.
提案があったら教えてね。7姉妹でとびっきりの殺し方
An awesome way. Does that mean he gets to get on fire like Kinzo?
ここまで恥をかかせたんだもの。八つ咲きでも足りない。百咲きにしてくれる。行くよお前たち。
Oh. Okay, that is cool though. The 7 of them burst at once. They had no desire to play or boast. This time they would generally follow their master's orders. Slay Kanon swiftly. And Kanon's dead. The 7 sisters jumped around the room faster than eyes could see, deciding how they would kill Kanon. They tortured Kanon with their cruel giggles, sometimes making a close pass at him. They kept scraping his arms, shoulders, and cheeks, curving red lines into his body. At the time, Kanon dashed up behind him, holding on to him so that she blocked the way to his body at least a little. Oh! She's using her power! At the same time, a red cylinder wrapped around the 2 of them like a beam of light sent from heaven. That cylinder repelled the evil ones who tormented Kanon.
何？ずるい。あんたは関係ないでしょ。きっとこれはあれよ。私たちと一緒に遊びたいのよ。
なら私がもらうわ。いっただき。
They really should form like their own 7-person fighting thing, and they could take them out easily.
私たちの獲物にしても。
ああ、構わんぞ。好きにしろ。お前たちの悪時期にはカノン一人では足らなかろうしな。
ありがたき幸せ。さあ、シャシャリ出てきたことを後悔させてや。
どっちがどっちかわからないくらいの肉片にして、混ぜてミンチにしてハンバーグにしてあげる。
Oh, I love hamburgers.
バカね。それよりあの結界を破る方がさっくい意地より先に仕事しなさい。
As a horribly natural first action, the 7 sisters began to destroy the barrier Kanon had created. Kanon's barrier certainly was extremely strong. It was enough power to impress even Beatrice. It was strong enough that the frail furniture would turn to dust just by touching it. And it was firm, like a tree with deep roots. But no matter how big a tree gets, it will eventually surrender to a saw or a hatchet. For the 7 sisters, chopping down Kanon's barrier, while it was a pain, it was not impossible. Her barrier is gone. The sound, like beetles jumping around, grew even more fierce and filled the room. They cut up and steadily eroded away that red barrier as though with a hatchet, a saw. No, a chainsaw by now.
愚かな。君の結界ではその子たちを防ぎきれないことは知っていたでしょうに。なぜ？
見過ごせないからです。
Kanon spoke back resolutely as he covered Kanon, who was already spent all of his energy and sprawled on the floor.
シャシャリでなければ眠るような死を与えてやったのに、なぜわざわざ7姉妹の前に身をさらすのか。死は同じではないぞ。苛烈な死は死してなお苛むぞ。
どうぞ お好きなように、あなたがしたいことを好きにするように。
どうにもそなたはこのところ面白みに欠けるね。恋というやつは
It's all about entertainment value. You know, it would be so much better, like, to not just be like a freaking murderer, instead become like a film critic or something. We need people like you.
そなたにはもう飽きた。
ありがとう。魔女から聞ける言葉で最も嬉しい言葉です。
And then the barrier goes away.
ならせめて最後にわらを思いっきり喜ばせる死に方を
Make a pose before you die.
七姉妹を聞こえたな。シャノンの殺し方。お前たちの残虐の限りを見せてみ。
申し訳ございません。やはり私には源氏様の高みには至れませんでした。
姉さんはバカだ。僕なんか放っておけば姉さんまでひどい目に遭うことは。
いいの。ジョージ様に指輪をもらって女として生きられたあなたをかばって
For like
姉として
5 seconds.
私のせいはすべて。
But, like, I don't understand these people, like, they end up fine with dying after, like, doing what they wanted for just so long.
その達観が本当にイラつくぜ。だから家具なんだよ。わらわを見ろよ。家具のくせにわらわよりも完成されたかのような、達観したかのようなことを言うんじゃねえ。
醜いその未練が。
未練じゃねえ。
This is called living.
それが生きるってもんだ。
Another Saturday night in the life of Beatrice.
死んでもいいとか。理解できねえ。さっぱりがっかり愕然呆然。全然ダメだぜ。
お嬢様、少し品がないかと。
Somewhat.
うるさいわ家具が。シャノン、楽に死なせてもらえると思うなよ。舌を噛むなら今のうちだ。
哀れね。もしも私の目にあなたのその姿が映って小野が醜さにおののくといい。
Take that. What's even the point? They're just like yelling at each other and like it's a moments away from death anyway. It's like a no you. At that time, Genji softly entered the red barrier. Maybe the barrier didn't block doors without ill intent. Then Genji softly held Sand from behind and covered her eyes with his right hand.
源氏様。
Oh.
はい、ありがとうございます。
After that, Genji softly pressed his left hand against the area around her collarbone. Oh my god, I suck at reading. As he did this from the like, you swear I'm dyslexic, and I'm not. I just suck. As he did from the area where that left hand pressed, a crimson stain gently spread out. Oh, he did it for them when Genji removed his hand. But when was he able to do that? Genji, did you kill those other people in those other episodes? And when he removed the right hand that covered Shannon's eye, there was a peaceful expression on her face as though she was sleeping. And she felt okay, so she's dead. And if it, oh, this is sad. Her soul had already been sent to a world where the malicious witch in her furniture could never reach her, no matter how evilly they tortured her. Beatrice and the Seven Sisters were shocked by the scene. Only Rudolf had a mysterious expression along with his smile. Then Genji leaned over Kanon, who was crouching on the floor. Just as he had done with Shannon, after gently covering Kanon's eyes with his hand, Genji gently covered the area around Kanon's collarbone with his other hand. And when that was removed with the lightness of a feather, there was a crimson rose shape. But that rose syrup quickly turned into the stain of bright red blood pouring out.
何よそれ。
つまらぬやつ。生命の風船は針にてつき、威勢よく割るから面白いのだろうが。
見事です。それでこそ家具です。
ありがとうございます。それではベアトリーチェ様、ロノウェ様、これをもって私の最後のお務めとし。
わらわの楽しみを勝手に奪いよ。この二人をギッタギタのぐっちゃぐちゃにしたそなたがそれを変わるのであろうね。
Beatrice faced him with an unsatisfied expression. Rudolf spoke quietly to Genji with a soothing smile.
ご苦労でした。あなたは私の最高のしもべです。これまでの労をねぎらうに値する安らかな眠りを。
おい、勝手な真似を。
Okay, it's kind of nice to see Beatrice not get her way, though. Rudolf snapped his fingers as if Genji was a... Maybe she just grew up on Caillou. I feel like that's the problem. As if Genji was a puppet that had crumpled from its strings being cut. Suddenly and yet gently, he fell sprawled on the floor into a sleep that witches couldn't call him back from. That was as filled with kindness as the sleep he had given Santa and Kanon. Great, now everyone's dead. Amazing.
なんだよ、ロノウェ。拍子抜けでつまらぬぞ。
お嬢様は偉大なる大魔女ではございませんか。この程度気に留めるほどにもございませんよ。シャノンごときの挑発で頭に血を上らせるなど。
What was there that Beatrice didn't like? Was he still able to remove the thorn of Sanon's words? Rudolf laughed lightly as though amesting the complexity of the human and female herd and ordered the seven sisters to go. After all, there were still two sacrifices. Oh, the seven sisters converted as they disappeared. I wonder who will die next. Though, damn, what an intense episode. And I think I'm going to end here. I know it's kind of little on the shorter side, but I think it's easier to record shorter, longer episodes to get, like, the maximum amount of content out for this, because the goal is to complete this by the end of summer. Oh no, Goat is so screwed. Anyway, yeah, see you guys in the next one. Bye.